Okay, before we start creating the maps, here are some points for you to note. Base maps are created from imported base map files such as DXF files, shape files, E00 files, image files, and blanking files, BLN files. And then post maps and classified post maps are created based on data files such as the text file, comma separated files, the CSV files, or the Excel spreadsheet files. Whereas the other 7 type of maps, including the contour map, image map, shaded relief map, vector map, 3D surface map, 3D wireframe maps, are based on grid files. So please always bear in mind that base maps are created based on either AutoCAD shape files, AutoCAD DXF files, or shape files, or georeference image files, while post and classified post maps are created based on data files such as text file, the Excel spreadsheet file, and so on. Then the remaining types of maps, the contour map, image map, shaded relief map, vector map, 3D surface map, and 3D wireframe map, are created based on grid files. Please always have this in mind. So apart from the post map and classified post map, and then the base maps, all other type of map in software are based on grid data. So now we are going to be using grid data to generate our maps. We have 2 sets of raw data here, one by Surveyor John and then one by Surveyor Musa. And then we have converted this raw data into grid files in our previous video. So please, I will advise you to go back and watch video number 2 on file types and gridding data to learn how to convert your raw data into grid files, because I'm going to be snappy over it in this video, since that is not the main purpose of this video. So with your raw data in this format, either in the text format or in the spreadsheet file format or in the data file format, to convert it to grid, you simply come to grid menu, then you select data, and then you follow the process to convert your data into a grid file. So I have successfully converted my raw data John in text file into a grid file, and also this data by Surveyor Musa in text file into a grid data. So now I'm going to be using it to create a contour map, an image map, a shaded relief map, a vector map, a 3D wireframe map, and 3D surface maps. So in order to create your contour maps, let's start with contour maps. You come to map, new, and then you select contour map. So from your map menu, you come to new, then you come to contour map, and then you navigate to wherever you have saved your grid data. This time around, my grid data is on the desktop inside the folder called Survey Maps, and this is the grid data for Musa that I've just created in the previous video. And then we have some couple of other grid data by Ken, and this is that of Musa, this is that of Tom, and this is that of John. So let's start with the grid data for Surveyor John. So I'll select the grid data, and then I'll click on open, and then my map will be generated. My contour map will be generated without waste of time. This is my contour map for the John grid data. So let me create another contour map from the Musa grid data. So I'll come to map, new, contour map, and then I'll select Musa grid data. Then I'll select open, and then it will create my map for me automatically. So I have two sets of maps, two sets of contour maps represented by different grid data. Let me create another one by going to map, menu, new, then contour map, and then I will now select Tom grid data. I'll click on open, and then the contour map for Surveyor Tom by Surveyor Tom has been generated. So look at, I have three different contour maps, and all the contour maps represent different grid data, and all the grid data represent different raw data, and all the contour maps are generated on the same plot window. So you can actually create more than one map on the same plot window. So this is how to create a contour map. Now let's focus on the contour map created by Surveyor John grid data. Let's see how to customize the contour map. Zoom to fit to window. So now this is our contour map by Surveyor John grid data. So in order to customize the contour, you will have to open the contour map property dialog box. So let's assume we want to fill the contour with different color. So we'll simply come to the contour layer from the object manager, or we'll simply double click on the contour map from the plot window to open up the contour map dialog box. And inside the contour map dialog box, under the general tab, when you select fill and click on apply, your contour map will be filled with different color. So if you want to customize the color, you can come to the level tab, and then you can now work on the different colors as required. Let's assume we want to change this color. You simply double click on it, and then you can change the pattern of the fill. You can change the color of the fill. Click on apply to apply your changes. So if you want to take it back, you simply close and then undo. So if you want to show the color scale, you open up the property dialog box, and then you select show color scale, and then click on apply, and then the color scale will be added to your map. So you can do so many things on your contour map. We are assuming that this part of the contour is a waterlogged area. So we have changed that fill, the fill around the contour line, into a blue color to represent water. And let's assume this contour area was affected by fire. by bushfire or wildfire. So I've changed the color field of that area into red to indicate that this area was actually affected by wildfire. So you can do a lot of customization to your contour map to have a better representation of your data and better interpretation of your data as well. So if you wish to change or to add more contour values, to write more contour values on your contour map, you will simply select the contour, right click, and then select edit contour label. When you click on edit contour label, note that my pointer has changed. So from on your computer keyboard, you hold down the control button and then click on the respective contour to add the contour label. And then if you wish to move the contour, click on the contour, hold the left mouse and move. The contour label will move along the contour line. If you want to add the contour label to a non-label contour, you press the control button on your keyboard, then you click on the contour to add a contour label to it. Just the way I'm doing. Let's assume that we want to label this line now. You right click on the map, select contour, edit contour label, press control button on your keyboard, then click on the contour to add the contour label. And if you wish to edit or delete the contour, you simply click on the contour and then press delete button on your keyboard to delete the contour, label. So this is how to edit and add contour label to your contour map. And then if you want to write on the left axis or on the top, you simply come to the corresponding axis layer from the object manager. You double click to open up the property dialog box, and then you type whatever you want to type under the general type inside the title box. So let's assume I want to write something on top of the contour map. So I'll simply come here, double click on the top axis, and then I will write on the top axis. I will write contour map of Karo, for example, and then I can customize the font color and font size respectively. Fit to window. This is it. So these are some of the possibilities you can do with your contour map. So you can actually do a lot in software, a lot of manipulation in software on your contour map by going to the property dialog box of your contour map. So for now, I think I will stop on contour map and then go into, let's see how to create another type of map. The next type of map we are going to be creating is the image map using the same John grid file we have used in creating this contour map. So all the maps we are going to be creating henceforth are based on grid files, unlike the base map, which is based on different file types, including AutoCAD DXF file, shape files, georeference image files, and so on. And then the vector map, which is based on data files, including text file and Excel spreadsheet file. So all the maps we are going to be creating are based on grid files now, including the contour map. So the next map we are going to create is the image file, image map, and we are going to use the same John grid data we have used in creating this contour map, and we are going to be creating it in the same plot window. So to create the image map, you go to your map menu and then new, then you select image map. From the open grid dialog box, you navigate to wherever you have saved your grid file. This time around, I have saved it on the desktop inside a folder called survey maps, and this is the John grid data file. So I'll select the John grid file and then click on open, and this is my image map for the same John grid data. So I can customize, I can work on the image, I can work on the image file just as I have worked on the contour map by double clicking on the image map to open the property dialog box, or coming to the object manager and then double clicking on the map layer, image map layer, to open up the property dialog box. So here I can change the color of the image map just in case if I'm not satisfied with that color. For example, this, and then click on OK. I think this color indicates or shows more or better interpretation of the image map. You can add the color scale if you wish for better interpretation. You can increase or decrease the opacity of the image map accordingly. If you wish to add text or title at the top, you come to the top axis and then open up the property dialog box of the top axis and type in your text. For example, image map, and then I can work on the font size. I will set it to 20, press OK, and then apply. That is it. So this is how to create an image map in Surfer software application. Let's create another type of map. This time around, let's create a shaded relief map. So you go to your map menu, new, and then select shaded relief map. From the open grid dialog box, we are going to use the same data. So you select the John grid data and then click on open. And this is your shaded relief map. You can work on it by opening up the property dialog box, and then from the general tab, you can customize the appearance of your map. You can change the color if you wish. Let's use this swamp. OK, apply. You can change the position of the light for different interpretation of your shaded relief map. So this is how to create your shaded relief map. Let me add title to the top. Relief map. I can work on the font size. I will take it to 20. Make it bold. OK, apply. That is it. So you can do more customization depending on what you want to achieve on the map. That is that about shaded relief map. The next type of map we are going to create based on grid data is the vector map. So you go to your map menu, new, and then select grid map, and then select the same John grid data and then click on open, and your grid or your vector map for the John grid data will be generated within few seconds. You can open up the property dialog box and customize the map. You can work on the symbols. Let's use this. You can change the color of the symbol, change the color of the field. You can make it green. OK, apply. You can see your changes taking effect. So you can change the color of the line. Let's make it red. You can increase the width of the line as well. Let's reduce the width. That's too bold. Okay. So you can work on the scaling. You can increase and reduce the opacity as well. And then you can also write the title of the map using the top axis. This time around, I'm going to call this vector map. Then I can work on the font size. I will set it to 20, make it bold. I can work on the foreground color, yellow, increase the opacity. Okay, apply. Look at it. So this is our vector map, and that is how to create a vector map. The next type of map we are going to be creating is the 3D wireframe map. So you go to your map menu, new, and then select 3D wireframe map. And then in the open grid dialog box, you select the same data, John grid data, and then click on open. And your 3D wireframe map will be generated. This is it. You can work on the map by opening up the property dialog box and do some customizations depending on what you want to achieve. So I'm setting the X lines to red. I'll hit apply to set my changes. If I wish, I can off the Y lines, hit apply to set my changes. If I wish to on, include the Z value, Z line, I can select it and hit apply to set my changes. Let me increase the width of the Y lines and set it to cyan color. I'll hit apply to set my changes. So you can do so many other things, so many other customization to your 3D wireframe map. If I want to write on the top axis, I can do so by opening up the top axis dialog box and typing something like this: 3D wireframe map. Then I'll hit on apply. I can work on the font size. I will set it to 20, make it bold. Okay, apply. Fit to window. So this is how to create a 3D wireframe map. Let's create the last type of map that is based on grid files in software application. And this map is the 3D surface map. So you go to your map menu, new, and then select 3D surface map. We're going to use the same grid data by John. So select the John grid data and click on open to create the 3D surface map. This is the 3D surface map. If I wish to work on the color, I will open up the property dialog box and then customize the color accordingly. If I wish to shade the base, I can do so by selecting show base and then hitting apply. If I want to work on the color, work on the base color, I'll click on the color tab, set it to brown. Okay, apply to change the color. If I wish to work on the light position, I'll select the light tab and then drag the sunlight to any position of my choice depending on the analysis I'm making on the map. So I can do so many other customization to suit the nature of job I'm doing on my 3D surface relief map. So basically, this is how to create grid maps in software application. We started by creating a contour map for the joint grid data, and we use the same data to create an image map, a 3D wireframe map, a 3D surface map, and another shared relief map for the same grid data, and then the vector map for the same grid data. So let me quickly rush over the process of creating these 6 maps. Using this time around, I'm going to use another different grid data. So I'm going to open up a new plot window, going to File, New. I will select plot window. Then I will now go to Map, New. I will start by creating a contour map. I'll click contour map, and then I'm going to use this time around, I'm going to use the Tom grid data to create new set of grid based maps in software application. So this is the contour map for the Tom grid data. If I wish to add more contour value or contour label to the contour lines, I will simply right click on the map and select edit contour label, and then I will press down the control button on my keyboard and then click on the respective contour lines to insert the contour values on them. And if I wish to shade the contour line, I will terminate the edit contour label command, and then I will open up the property dialog box, and then I will go to the general tab and select fill contour to fill up the contour area with shaded with color. If I wish to change the contour line with the height 3100 to red, I will double click on the color on the line to open up the line property, and then change the line color to red and increase the width as well. I'll press OK. You can see the contour line with the height 3100 has been changed to red. I'll click on apply to display it on the map. Fit to window. So you can see this contour line red is the one with the height 300 meters above mean sea level. So this is how to do some customization on contour map. So now let's create an image map for the same Tom grid data. So I'll go to my map menu, new, and then I'll select image map. Then I'll select the Tom grid data and click on open. So this is the contour or image map for the John grid data. If I wish to do more customization on it, I will open up the property dialog box and then set the color and other properties according to the nature of my project. Let's create the shaded relief map for the same Tom grid data. I'll go to map, new, shaded relief map, and then I'll select the Tom grid data and click on open. So this is the shaded relief map for the same Tom grid data. I will take it aside, and then I will create the next map, which is the vector map for the same Tom grid data. Select the Tom grid data, click on open, and this is the vector map for the Tom grid data. I will take it aside, and then I'm going to create the next map for the same Tom grid data. This time around, the 3D wireframe map. I will select the Tom grid data, click on open, and my shaded relief map is taking time to load because of the volume of the data I have in the Tom grid file. So depending on the volume of your data, it will take some few minutes to load, to generate your map, depending on the volume of your data. And this is the generated shaded 3D wireframe map for the Tom grid data file. So the next map I'm going to be creating is the 3D surface map. I'll fit to window. Then I will take this aside, and then I'm going to create the 3D surface map for the same Tom grid data. So I'll go to my map menu, new, and then I'll select 3D surface map, and then I'll select the same data and click on open. This will generate the 3D surface map for me automatically, and this is it. So this is the 3D surface map for my Tom grid data file. So basically this is how to create maps in software application that are based on grid files. And this concludes my demonstration video on software map types.